Adelante.
Permiso, ¿don César?
¿Cómo está? ¿Cómo le va? ¿Cómo está? ¿Me permite sus documentos?
Sí, aquí. El currículum.
Bien. Ingeniero comercial.
Así es.
Perfecto. ¿Licencia a conducir la tiene al día?
Sí, al día.
Ya, perfecto. ¿Usted está más o menos claro cuáles son los propósitos de nuestra empresa? ¿El problema?
Bueno, principalmente...
¿Tuvo algún problema al llegar acá ahora?
No.
Estamos un poquito acá.
Madre.
Perfecto. Aquí están sus...
Cuidado.
¿Qué? Ah, perfecto.
Mire. ¡Cuidado!
And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. But the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up, and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh.
So Yahushua, when he comes back, he's pained to come and take this place out. Why do you think the scriptures say that the earth shall rock to and fro like a drunkard? What type of devastation is it going to take that's going to make the whole world rock back and forth? The scripture said so great an earthquake as never was seen before. So you have to imagine the amount of anxiety and frustration that one has, and when you're able to let it loose without any interference, man, you better get out that person's way. You know, and Esau gonna try to head right to the Lord, and the Lord's gonna fuck shit up.
For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many.
Revelation 20:4. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them. Thrones signifying rulership, a new government being set up. Thrones of judgment, the thrones of the house of David. It tells you that in the Psalms. And they sat upon them, the day referring to the elect of the 12 tribes. And judgment was given unto them. And that links up with Daniel, the 2nd chapter. Matter of fact, it links up with Daniel, the 2nd chapter, but also Daniel, the 7th chapter. The 2nd chapter and the 7th chapter, but I'm going to get in the 7th. It says judgment was given unto them. Daniel chapter 7, 27. And we could jump up to verse 21. But let's read 27. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. Verse 21. I beheld in the same horn, talking about America, made war with the saints, made war with the Israelites, and prevailed against them, because we was put in slavery in America, and now we're still in slavery. So right now, this devil is prevailing against us right now. Until the Ancient of Days came. The Ancient of Days is Yahweh. He's coming by way of his son, Yahushua. When Yahushua shows up, when he pulls up, yeah, like Jay say, pull up, right? When the Lord pulls up on this earth, when he pulls up in a humongous fathership, people are going to feel the presence of the Most High. It's going to be like the Most High showed up. That's how much power Yahushua is coming with. It's like the Heavenly Father himself showing up. That's power we can't even imagine. This is high level, man. It says the Ancient of Days came, but really, Yahushua is coming. The Heavenly Father, he's not coming himself, but he's sending his Heavenly Son. It says how Edom, by way of America, that little horn, would prevail against us until the Most High showed up by way of Yahushua. And judgment was given to the saints of the Most High. I saw thrones and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. What we read in Revelation is saying the same thing in Daniel. Until the ancient days came, Yahweh by way of Yahushua, that second coming of our Lord, and judgment or justice. That's when you're going to get justice, Jake. And judgment was given to the saints of the Most High. What the saints of the Most High? The Israelites. And the time came that the saints, the Israelites, possessed the kingdom. This is getting ready to happen.
But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever.
Barakatah Yahweh Shah. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shah.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Kakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS, whom rule well, teach well, being great example towards younger brothers, and peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful lake out there pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful lake, the believers, the listeners, whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. All right, and what I want to get into, all right, this evening, all right, is dealing, lately we've been dealing with this topic of feminism, and pretty much, I think this video here sum everything up, all right, as we've been touching on it in the aftermath and the effects of it. Okay, so we're pretty much gonna go, into how, this doctrine, this way was passed down, and the aftermath of it. Okay, we're gonna go into the aftermath of it. Now, I want to go into some precepts, before I go into these videos. I got two videos I want to go into dealing with it. And we'll put some precepts in between, Lord willing. But it's pretty much gonna sum it up. I think after this, I think this will pretty much sum up everything, concerning, the feminism and the effects of it for our people, man. So let's go here. Let's start off with, because one thing, we have to understand dealing with the scriptures, it'll speak about circumstances, that we'll be in, but it doesn't, sometimes they don't go into the details of how we will get in particular circumstances. Okay. So I want to go here. This is Jeremiah 31:22. It says, how long wilt thou go about, O backsliding daughter? For the Lord have created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. Okay. Now the scriptures speak of these things, a new thing in the earth, because this is a new thing when you had a nation of women that runs the nation. Remember, black culture, all right, is ran through a matriarch. Okay. And the matriarch is a government or society ran by women, where the women is the head. Okay. And this is the first time that a nation of women has been the head of a nation, man. Okay, dealing with the nation of Israel. All right. The average household of our people is ran by a single mother. And even in the households where there's a man and a woman, half the time the woman is still the head. Okay, happy wife, happy life. Everyone in the house is submissive, to the mother. Okay. And prophecy said that it would happen, and it's a new thing in the earth. And you go to compass, it means to go past or to go around. All right. And this society is set up where a woman is able to go around the authority of the man. Okay. The scriptures tell you the way of a man and a woman who can know. All right. The government or the state is not supposed to be able to interfere with the affairs of a man and a woman. Okay. A man and his wife. You see? But in this society, this happens. Now, it says a woman shall compare as a man, but it didn't go into the how, it didn't go to the details of how. Okay, but now that's what we're going into now. How did this come about? Okay, let's go to some precepts. Okay. Let's go into some curses. All right, now this is Deuteronomy 28 and 54. It says, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother. Okay, now when we read this is an evil eye towards his brother, we didn't know it was gonna be through gangster rap, all right, gang culture, thug culture, okay, you know, the crack epidemic, you know, which pretty much started these gang wars and territory wars where Jake, you know, began to have what, the evil eye towards his brother, okay. It says, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. Yeah, because you know the Jakes that abandon their responsibility, okay, are the Jakes that women, you know, have been conditioned, all right, to desire. You know, these what? These degenerates. You see, a lot of those men that these women desire be degenerates, and you know they have no intent, okay, on being responsible for a family. They just there for the pleasure of sex. Okay, so we read these curses, you know, because it ain't just, you know, the Most High snapped his fingers, which he can do it. It ain't like the Most High just snapped his finger and then it was just a feud between the man and the woman, because post slavery, Jake was still together. They still had family structure. Okay, it was this happened through enchantments, man. Well, you have this you know, this gender war going on between, all right, you know, the man and the woman. Okay, Esau pretty much magnified, he amplified the curses through enchantments, man. Okay, and we're gonna go into these things, man. Okay, let's go here to 56. It says, the tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure, to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness. All right, show you the level of femininity that, you know, our women had then. It said, her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. Okay, because what we see, going back to it, okay, feminism, all right, when see feminism, it affects other nations, you know, other women of the other nations in the West, okay, but see with the women of our the women of the tribes, okay, the Israelite woman, it turned into a deep hatred, man. Feminism turned into a deep hatred going into this curse, man. Okay, and you know, you go to the abortion, you know, there's her eye being evil towards her son and her daughter, and also not, you know, wanting a man, okay, not wanting the children to have a father, having this mindset that you can do it, you know, by yourself. You set up your children for failure, man. Okay, children have been set up for failure. You see, the woman, you know, a lot of women despise the thought of being a mother. You know, that you know, there's something that they don't look forward to. Okay, in this society, and that all was a spinoff of what? Feminism. Okay, and we're going to go into these things. All right, so let's go here. Let's see, brothers got anything? Okay, so yeah, let's go into it. Let me cue this first video up. Now, this is going to pretty much show you how this philosophy, was passed down from grandmother to mother to daughter, and then it repeats itself. Okay, because the mother eventually becomes a grandmother, the daughter eventually becomes a mother, and then she has a daughter, and she passes this philosophy down. Okay, and this enchantment from the serpent, and then we're gonna go into the aftermath of it, man. Okay, so I'm gonna let this play. You brothers, post precepts as you see fitting, to the lesson. We'll move from there. I'm gonna let this play. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and put the link in. Just in case brothers want to do their own take on it.
Raise your hand if you're married. None of you are married. Raise your hand if you would like to be married to your baby's father. One. The rest of you who don't plan to get married, why don't you plan to get married? I'd like to know that.
You already have your child to think about, and then a whole family to care for. It's a lot of responsibility, and then you don't want the commitments.
I wouldn't want no man holding me down because I think I can make it as a single parent.
But don't you think you might need help in raising that baby from a man?
Not really. I didn't have a father. My father wasn't in the home, so it really, male figures are not substantially important in the family.
That clip right there was from a 1986 CBS special hosted by Bill Moyer discussing the state of Black America and the vanishing Black family. In this clip right now, you're looking at a group of young Black mothers, none of them married, all of them single mothers, and all of them but one said they did not want to get married to the father of their kid. And as you can see, they did not hold back on why it was not a good idea for them to have a two-parent household. One of the young mothers, she said a whole family to care for, it's a lot of responsibility. She also said you don't want that commitment. Another one said she didn't want a man holding her down. And then the last one, she said that male figures are not substantially important in the family. Does any of this sound familiar?
You see that? You see? You see the seed has been planted, and this was in 86. Okay? Now, let's show you how the mindset of the women were, all right, in the ancient world. Okay, show you how the devil, Esau Edom has completely, perverted, our women, the majority of women from righteousness, man. Okay, and every woman didn't feel like this, but Esau, through his media, he makes it seem as if their small panel of women represented the majority. Okay, and after repetition, it does become the majority. Okay, after this way is taught and passed down from generation to generation, it does come the majority, and that's what it has done. Now, let's get a few precepts just to show you the mindset of our foremothers. Okay, now let's go to Genesis. I think it might be 30. All right, this is Genesis 30:1. It says, and when Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children, Rachel envied her sister and said unto Jacob, give me children or else I die. Okay, so Rachel is fussing at Jacob, like, look, give me some children or else I die. Okay. And Jacob's anger was kindled against Rachel, and he said, am I in the Most High stead, who have withholden thee from the fruit of thy womb? So Jacob, like, look, we doing the do, but it ain't, I'm not in the stead of the Most High that controls that. But that's how anxious our foremothers were to be children, and not only children, but be wives, man. Okay, you see. Let's go here. Let's get this Exodus 1. This is it's Exodus 1:8 says, now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply. And it come to pass that when there fall out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens, and they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew, that they were grieved because of the children of Israel. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor, and they made their lives bitter with hard bondage, in mortar and in brick and in all manner of service in the field. Uh, all their service wherein they were made to serve was with rigor. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of the one, all right, was Shiphrah or Shapara, okay, in the Hebrew, and the name of the other Puah. And he said, when ye do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women, and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill it, but if it be a daughter, then shall she shall live. But the midwives feared the Most High, and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them, but saved the men children alive. Okay, so this is how down the woman used to be for the nation, man. Okay, and she feared the Most High. All right, and she was down for her husband and her nation. Okay, and she valued the life of Hebrew men. Okay, those men child that was being born. Okay, they understood that to be the strength of their nation. But Esau has perverted their way of thinking to wickedness, man, to mischief. Okay, all right. So let's go from there. Um, let's get this real quick. There's more accounts. All right, the mother of Samuel. She, you know, she begged to have seed for her husband. You know, when the Lord blessed her with Samuel, and then sons and daughters after Samuel. You know, um, they'll get this in Psalms, and then we'll get back to the clip. Okay. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 113. All right. And 9, it says, he maketh the barren woman to keep house and to be a joyful mother of children. Praise ye the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Shai. And said the woman to keep house, to keep whose house? The house of her husband. Okay? To be a administrator of the affairs of her husband, all right, around the house, man. While he was out and about making moves in the earth for the house, she was at the house managing the affairs of the house and the children. Okay, that was the order established. All right, but who convinced the woman that their order was oppressive, and because the number one feminist statement is, well, I'm not his slave. Okay, but you'll go slave in Esau's career. You see, you'll go slave, at a college or a career. You know, was Esau's work. All right, his work industry has no mercy for your ass, man. Okay, so let's go back here. Um, go back to the video.
I understand the woman bring life. Y'all don't. So I need a man to be like,
How y'all get that life, man?
What do you mean?
How you get that life?
Create.
What do you mean?
How do you get that life?
Go in the house and get a sperm donor. You don't need a man.
You still need a man.
You still need a man.
See, that's that mentality right there. I don't need a man. You heard her. You heard her. I don't need a man. Like,
you need a physical woman to bear a child for you.
And y'all need a physical sperm. Where does it come from? From a man.
From a hospital. I can look for a book and find a man.
And I can find a womb to hold it.
And find a what?
Surrogates.
And you need a physical man to give you sperm.
You need a physical man.
No, you.
Obviously, people say you have a baby. Are you going to get married? What is your take on that? Do you want to get married?
You know what? I'm actually not. My mom always was like, you need to stop saying that. But I feel like at my age, I don't really want to get married right now. Like, I feel like that's an even bigger commitment. I don't know. I hate to say like it's an even bigger commitment than a baby to me, but getting married just seems like so much.
I don't have no man, and guess what? I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. I don't need no man. I'm done.
Can you believe it's 36 years later? Are things about the same or worse? Take a second to make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Click the notification bell for updates, and if you're new, include new subscriber in your comment below, and I'm going to try my best to respond to all of you.
I'm thinking about holding up for no sex, man. You know, if a girl, she get having a baby, carrying a baby, hey, that's on her. You know, I'm not going to stop my pleasures because of another woman. What about birth control?
There's nothing more powerful than you making your thing happen. Doing business on your terms.
What about condom? Girls don't like them things. They don't like them things. They'll tell you to take them things off. They figure that you saying that they filthy or they dirty or something.
It's been a startling change in values. 25 years ago, you would not have heard such things said so freely because they were not embraced so widely. The strong family was still the backbone of Black America, and 3 out of 4 children had both parents at home. That is true no longer. Most Black children are now growing up without their fathers. The result is a world turned upside down as children copy what they see and repeat what they learn. LaDawn said she didn't have a father in her home and doesn't think her children need one. She's not unusual. Half the Black families today are headed only by a woman. Clorinda said she could make it on her own as a single parent. She has never been married and is raising her daughter without a man's help. She's not unusual. Today, nearly 60% of all Black children are born out of wedlock.
He was saying in the late 50s, early 60s, it was very common to have 2 parents in the home. Fast forward 25 years later, in 1986, you had at least 50% of the households being led by women. And nowadays it's much worse. It's very apparent that this single parent crisis, it just didn't come out of anywhere. In 2022, women are becoming single mothers at a higher rate. Majority of them still choosing the wrong men to have babies with. Just like the first guy. He was running around sounding like a Ray who didn't care how many women he got pregnant. And for whatever reason, even today, not only are women choosing to lay down with the wrong men, but they keep saying they have no control over getting up pregnant.
This is Newark, New Jersey, one of America's inner cities. Inner city is a polite name for ghetto, as in black ghetto. Those of us who don't live in the ghetto are brought here usually by television and usually only when there are pictures to show. But we have to come here if you want to understand those fearsome statistics about the vanishing Black family. Now, a lot of white families are in trouble too. Single parent families are twice as common in America today as they were 20 years ago. But for the majority of white children, family still means a mother and a father. This is not true for most Black children. For them, things are getting worse. Today, Black teenagers have the highest pregnancy rate in the industrial world. And in the Black inner city, practically no teenage mother gets married. That's no racist comment. What's happening goes far beyond race. Why then do so many teenage girls get pregnant and have children? Why do so many fathers abandon their families? The answers begin with the people here. They told us what happens to family when mothers or children. Fathers don't count, and the street is the strongest school.
That was a very strong statement right there. This is what happens to families when mothers are children, fathers don't count, and the street is the strongest school. Now, the teen birth rate has been declining in the US since 1991, but I still believe the women of the 50s and the 60s, they seem to be a lot more mature, more practical compared to millennials and Gen Z.
It is the beginning of another school day in Newark, New Jersey. Another day of class for Clorinda Henderson. She is 17 and had hoped to graduate from high school next year, but that was before the birth of her baby.
I dreamed that having a little baby, you could just cuddle in your arms, just hug all the time, kiss on it, smell it, because it's so sweet. I thought it'd be fun until I had it.
The reality's different.
The reality just punched me right in the eye. I had to pinch myself and see if I was here because I was like, this is too much.
Clorinda was only 15 when she got pregnant with her daughter, Shaquana. She is not unusual. Half of all black teenagers become pregnant. Clorinda has never been married. She's still living with her mother at home, where she's raising her baby daughter. Clorinda goes to a special school for dropouts after she takes her daughter to a daycare center. She has 5th grade math skills and reads at a 6th grade level.
When I got pregnant, I said, well, I'm going to have this baby, and she's not going to stand in the way of my education. I'm not going to let no one stand in the way of my education. I ain't going to be like these other girls, just drop out, can't get no job, no money, have to be on welfare.
Ready. On the vocabulary. Bingo. Clorinda learned about birth control in sex education courses, but she still became pregnant. You think it was a mistake?
Well, I'll say no.
I like how she just told the truth. It wasn't a mistake. You have so many people, both women and men, walking around talking about everything was a mistake. There's no way that we can have these high numbers by mistake, especially when the people of today consider themselves to be more educated than the previous generations.
Because I wasn't on any, birth control methods. Neither was he. And, we were sexually active. And when it happened, it just happened.
When you think back to that day when you learned you were pregnant, what went through your mind?
Oh, gosh, I'm going to tell my mother. And I'm going to tell my mother, she's going to make me get up. I was really scared, I think.
Why didn't you want to get an abortion?
Because I wanted his baby.
What did you like about it?
Most people have no clue that in 2023, the best way to make money on Amazon is not with physical products.
Legs.
His legs.
I got a thing for bow-legged boys.
Bow-legged boys.
I love them. They have some gorgeous legs. I just don't know.
Yes, you heard right. She said that she wanted to have his baby. She had a thing for guys with bow legs.
You hear that? What we talked about, the other day. All right. Well, women make short-term decisions with long-term consequences. Now, I want to put this perspective out there. There's nothing, wrong, with women, having children at their age, 15, 14, 16, 17, what they consider teenagers. All right. That was common in the ancient world. Those women, that was coming up pregnant that we was reading, in the book of Exodus. Okay. All those women wasn't 18 or over 21. Okay. That was a common thing. But the thing is, there's no structure. Okay. You choosing a guy to, become pregnant by, because he's bow-legged. All right. Because women ain't equipped to make those long-term decisions, man. Okay. That's why a father was there to have a foresight, all right, for his daughter and choose the best suitor. Okay. And it's women that got pregnant by men that want to have their men because he got good hair and curly hair. He got a 6-pack, all type of little silly shit, man. You see? He's the toughest guy in the neighborhood, whatever, It was, but it was always a short-term decision that had long-term consequences. We're gonna get into those consequences in the next video, man. Okay.
Months after she had her baby, she got pregnant by him again, but this time she said that she couldn't handle a second child, so she got rid of it. Both of them teenagers, both of them living at home with their mothers, no father around. The teen mom, she received welfare, but the money went to her mother. And now the child they had together, she's 38 years old. The woman profiled here, she was a single mother, her mother was a single mother, and her grandmother was a single mother.
Your grandmother was a single woman with a child. Your mother, a single woman with a child. Now you. Why is that happening?
I really didn't plan on getting pregnant, but if I really had somebody to really sit down and talk to, like really express my feelings to them, I don't think none of this would have happened. And then when it did happen, my grandmother's like, I told you this, I told you this. Tell me nothing.
Nobody told Darren anything either. He too lives at home with his mother.
Both of them young, both of them being honest about their situation. Neither one of them had guidance from a man, but they're in their 50s now. So hopefully they gave more direction to their bloodline so that they could break those patterns. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started below in the comments. We're living in a day and age where everything is flipped upside down. What are we to do to turn things back around? Also, this was 36 years ago, still in the very early stages of women talking about they didn't need a man. Fast forward decades later, and their granddaughters, they are getting the same results. Is it possible for millennials to change, or should we focus more on the younger generation? Special thank you to Vaughn. I appreciate you, Vaughn, for all of your support for this channel.
Okay, so as you can see, all right, as she said, her grandmother was a single parent, her mother was a single parent, she's a single parent, and as a child, you mimic what you can see, what you see. If a brother can put that in the comment board, train up a child in the way that she should go, and also if a brother can put these two precepts, and I'm gonna go ahead and queue up this next video. Matter of fact, let me go to the blue. I need to go there anyway. I want to get something in the NLT. You know, so what you see, yep, brother put a good one. Yep. Let's get these two real quick. It's the brother Corner Waff. All right, GMS pray. Always hopeful. Elect. Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart. All right, and she was like, if I just had somebody to talk to, she don't believe it would have happened. Well, who should have been there? The father. Okay, the father putting his influence on the mother, and the mother passing that influence down to the children. You see, these are all women influenced by who? The serpent. Okay, and what's happening? Women is inheriting bad decision making from their mothers. Okay, the grandmother passed down the mother seen, you know, the grandmother's bad decision making, and she mimicked it. Okay, the daughter seen the mother's bad decision making, and she mimicked it. Okay, terrible decision making has gotten us to this point, man. Enchantments from the serpent, he planted the seed of this philosophy, and that philosophy being passed down, and what comes with that philosophy is terrible decision making, man. Okay. All right, and Esau knows this on both sides, that you can train up a child in wickedness, okay, and when it's older, it will not depart. And you can train up a child in righteousness, and when it's old, it's not depart. You know, the difference with the elect is the elect was pulled out of darkness, man, because we was all trained up in darkness, you know, but the elect were pulled out of that darkness, man, you know, into this marvelous light. All right, this the book of Sirach chapter 3, all right, verse 9. It said, "For the blessing of the father established the houses of the children, but the curse of the mother rooted out foundations." Okay, the father would establish houses of the children. Okay, the strength of the house is the father. Well, Esau said, "Nah, you gonna be the strength of the house," and he knew he was putting the weaker vessel as the head. Okay, which will cause what? This ripple effect that we see. The woman is easily manipulated, and the elites push this feminism mindset because it's easy to control the masses if the masses are being led by a woman, because a woman is easily manipulated, man. Okay, so these devils, they knew exactly what they was doing. Okay, and to pour in all these doctrines and philosophies into the nation of Israel, he put the woman at the head. Okay, now I want to go here real quick and get this in the blue letter. This is in the book of Ezekiel. Okay, Ezekiel 16. All right, and all right, 4-4. All right, it said, "Behold, everyone that uses the proverb shall use this proverb against thee, saying, as is the mother, so is the daughter." Okay, all right, as is the mother, so is the daughter. All right, reading NIV. Everyone who quotes proverbs will quote this proverb about you, like mother, like daughter. Okay, generations of "I don't need a man," generations of single motherhood. Okay, generation of promiscuity, man. Generations of it, like mother, like daughter. You see? Let's get this. All right, this is from the brother Elder Hawaii, GMS North Carolina 777. Proverbs 12:26. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them. Okay, and women were seduced into this way of thinking, man, as if it was the right way. Okay, so let's go from there. Let me cue up this other video. Now, Apostle Tahar put this video up. You know, he left a link for it in one of his videos he posted a few days ago. All right. Now, this is the aftermath of that way of thinking. Okay, this is the aftermath. All right. So let's get it. Let's get it.
This goal is to make the city. Today, we are embarking on a journey.
Now, if brothers could go ahead and post the book of Job. Let's post the book of Job, chapter 4, verse 8, and Jeremiah 17:10. You know, whatever else you brothers see fit. All right. So there's an Apostle Tahar, Elder Apostle Tahar. He posted this on his channel a couple of days ago. Okay. Now listen to what's going on. All right.
Embarking on a journey, investigating injustice in Chicago. The goal is to make the city safer for everyone, but especially for those most impacted by crime.
CBS 2 investigator Dorothy Tucker spotlights a troubling pattern that's been ignored for years, and Dorothy joins us now live.
Well, Jim and Marie, we uncovered some unique facts and figures that revealed for the first time the truth about who criminals are really targeting. It's people who look like me. Our investigation exposes the causes and consequences of Black women at risk.
We begin tonight with breaking news. Reports of multiple people shot on the city's west side.
It's all we think about.
Multiple suspects walked up to the victim demanding his car.
Our biggest fear.
Breaking tonight, 4 teens, 3 15-year-olds and 1 16-year-old, all shot while on a front porch.
Being the next victim of a crime.
The man stumbled down the Chinatown platform, bleeding from his neck from a gunshot wound.
But what are your chances?
We're not just talking about 1 or 2 robberies here. We're talking dozens of them.
Who's really the most at risk? Is it white men, white women, Asians, Hispanics, Black men? No, it's not. It's women who look like Tonia Thomas.
It's scary.
According to Chicago police crime data for 2022, when you look at all the offenses, count all the victims, Black women are the most at risk.
It's not fair.
Unfair because that 67,000 means 25% of crime victims are Black women, but they make up only 16% of Chicago's population. And when the CBS 2 investigators kept digging, we discovered even more disturbing data. Black women represented more than a third of kidnappings, 35% of assaults, 38% of batteries, attacked and injured, 40% of rape victims. And let this sink in. Black women are 52% of human trafficking victims. Remember, they're only 16% of the population.
To have to navigate through life knowing that you'll potentially become a victim of a crime, primarily because of your race and your gender combined, it's not fair.
Thomas survived a rape.
This is all the paperwork from the hospital.
But she still feels the pain.
What happened to me, it won't go away.
It happened here, this West Side apartment building, at a friend's party.
I did have a couple of drinks, but nothing too crazy.
Pictures of a happy, smiling Thomas were taken just minutes before she felt dizzy and went to the bathroom. The police report details the horrors of the criminal's sexual assault.
I remember being in the bathroom with the person who assaulted me, and I remember just trying to get out of the restroom, but I couldn't get out.
The car was parked actually right there on the corner, right before the stop sign.
Even when it comes to nonviolent crimes and reports where police record race, Black women,
I couldn't believe it,
like Evelyn Sparks, are targets. Black women account for 24% of property thefts, arson 28%, car thefts 29%. Again, they're only 16% of the population.
You could see it out the window.
A 2019 Kia.
I parked there every day.
But in less than 10 minutes, it was gone. Photos of a trashed Kia found by police an hour later.
Somebody that takes something that you work so hard for, it makes you feel very violated.
Why are they targets? Because they're, if you want to call it, easy prey. Yes, yeah.
Geneva Brown is a professor of criminology at DePaul University.
We just had an unfortunate officer, Preston, who was killed. She was on her way home at 1:40 in the morning, and she was a target of a robbery. Disproportionately, Black women are working third shift jobs. Black women are in communities where there is a lack of a middle class, a lack of a economic foundation that would deter this type of behavior.
Where they live, when they work, and listen to this, how they are perceived by criminals put a target on the backs of Black women.
You know that you're in a neighborhood where crime is the norm and not the exception. You're in a neighborhood where you know that the police are slow to respond. It creates that atmosphere where, unfortunately, you have people who feel empowered to become bolder or to continue to commit offenses until they're caught.
Why does it always have to be me? When do I get a break? When can I have some peace? I hear those words quite often in the work that I do.
Gabrielle Molden Carwell works as a trauma therapist, helping Black women cope with their emotional pain.
It's disheartening, and it causes self-doubt because something must be wrong with me.
She knows the trauma of sexual assault, not just because she treats survivors.
I've seen it in my mom.
She's lived with it.
I've seen it in my grandmother on my mom's side. I've seen it for myself.
And how old were you?
I was 12.
In the year 2000, when this photo of a carefree little girl posed for the camera, masking her torture.
It went on for about 6 months or so. I was angry. I was heartbroken.
It's very aggravating.
Rage keeps me up at night a lot.
How long have Black women been overrepresented? The CBS 2 investigators went searching for answers. We looked at every crime, every victim, not just 1 or 2 years, not 3 or 4. We went back 21 years. CBS 2 investigative data journalist Elliot Ramos crunched the numbers.
The stuff is buried in like statistical reports that come out every year.
But it's here, the latest, pages 79 to 81.
You got batteries, you got robberies.
Ramos combined the crime data
by day of week, by location type,
with race, sex, and age from police reports.
It was surprising at how consistently Black women in particular were over-indexed in relation to the population, like year after year after year.
The revelation, Black women have always suffered more than others. A surprising fact?
I was 16 when all of that was going on.
No one suffers more than young Black girls under 18. A perfect picture of a thriving high school junior at Little Village until she dated the wrong boyfriend.
I remember like him grabbing my arm and he swung on me and hit me. He was very violent. He was very mentally abusive. All of that was very traumatic.
From 2001 to 2022, for every white girl attacked and injured, there were 18 Black girls hurt.
I decided like I wanted to take some pills. I no longer was getting the A and B's that I wanted. So if my grades began to drop, I felt very burdened. And so I no longer wanted to feel burdened.
I feel like this is just as bad as the war on drugs, right? Like everything went shut down for that. But what about these crimes?
But for Black women disproportionately targeted by crime, there is no special task force, no mayoral commission.
We talk about big picture stuff. We talk about, hot topics, but Black female victimization is not a hot topic.
And Brown adds, no public outcry to address the core causes.
And I think that this is a conversation that needs to be had.
We've been counting CTA attacks, and this one marks 8 in the past 10 days.
As a Black woman walking into the world,
Some of the 14 wounded are still in the hospital.
every day and knowing there's this high probability that something's going to happen to me when I leave the house. And it's like, do you even leave home? But we have to. We can't, live a life where we're sheltered, but why should we have to?
Here's a sad reality. The data shows that Black women are the most victimized group in Chicago, not just this year, but almost every year for the last 2 decades. Now, this is the first in a series of reports. In the future, we'll look at where these crimes are taking place and what might be done to address the problem. Jim and Marie?
Incredible.
Yeah, man. And you see the results. Okay? And one thing about it, I'm going to say this, man. You can't play the victim. You remember in 86 when those women's up there laughing, I don't need a man. A man is not that substantial to the family. Laughing, playing. Okay? Now, because these niggas committing these crimes, these niggas that's doing all this, what type of family did they come from? What type of environment did they come out of, man? Okay? And we just going to the facts, man. You see? So now we're seeing the fruits of that decision making, man. Okay? And the Lord, he's all about balance, man. All right? If a brother can post that too, Jeremiah 32 and 19. Okay? You know, it was all funny, you know, in 86, and I don't need a man, and you know, nah, you can't be the hero and the victim. Okay, you can't be strong, independent, boss divas, and all this, and then the victim. Nah, you can't be both, man. You know, this is Job 4 and 8. It says, even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. Okay, and all that's happening is that strong black woman narrative now, okay, is playing out. Now you're reaping from that decision, man, from those decisions, man. Poor decision making. Okay, terrible decision making. Jeremiah 17 and 10, it says, I, the Lord, search the heart. I try the reins, even to give every man, woman including, according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings. Okay, these are the actions of Miss Independent, strong black woman. Okay, because it started as feminism started as a talking point. Okay, then it became a philosophy, and then it became a way of life. Okay, and now it's a plague. You see, you know, all these things are happening, man. Like, and then when you go into these situations, these women are unsupervised. Why? Because there's no men. You see, the police can't control that. That's the police have to deal with the aftermath, all right, of a culture that's already instilled. You see, the discipline starts at the home. Okay? And these wild niggas out here was bred by single mother culture, man. They're strong, independent. All right? Like I say, even if you was a mother that, you know, push morals, you know, in the household, well, they were sent to school a bunch of them other wild niggas, man. Okay? Nothing but wild niggas on the TV. You see, this is just a plague because the fastest growing population was the fastest demographic. All right, there's amongst Jake is what thugs and thoughts, man. You know, this is a brother GMS. Pray always hope for elect. Galatians 6 and 8. For he that soweth to the flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. All right, and this is a corruptible society, man. Okay, black culture has become very corruptible. We'll see it felt good to the flesh. Okay, to not be under the order of men, you know, to do what you want, move how you want, make decisions, you know, be the leader. Okay, be the boss chicks. You know, it felt good to the flesh, it felt good to the ego, but now we're in a society where you're the most targeted, man. Okay, it says, but he that sowed to the spirit shall of the spirit reap life everlasting, man. And that's what we're doing now. Okay, coming back to an order. All right, so let's get this one. Yeah, man. Yeah. Can't be the hero and the victim. Because when one Jake make it to the NFL, then you know the woman is praised, strong black woman. All right, but when for every one nigga that make it to the NFL, one Jake that make it to the NFL, it's a million of these niggas that are degenerate, man. Okay, but no one wants to take credit for raising them niggas, man. Okay, they act like these niggas just came out of nowhere. Nah, man, these are products, okay, of bad decision making. Okay, this is the brother Bayan Yashala, Jeremiah 32 and 19. Great in counsel and mighty in works, for thine eyes are upon all the ways of the sons of men. The Lord is looking at all this, man, to give everyone according to his way and according to the fruit of his doings. Okay, and everyone's gonna be repaid for the fruit of their doings, man. And we're seeing the aftermath. Okay, it ain't cute anymore. Cause now what you producing is knocking you upside your goddamn head, man. Okay. It's the brother GMS Spiritual Art 144. Isaiah 32:9 said, "Rise up, ye women that are at ease, hear my voice, ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech." You know, and that carefree mindset that women have been allowed to have in the earth, that's over with, man. Okay, that's over with. You see, verse 10, it says, "Many days and years shall she be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come." Okay, all these women that have these carefree lives, the sugar babies, the multiple men, the benefits, these little careers. You see, everything is finna fail. Everything that the woman depends on is finna fail in this society, man. Okay, and when it goes down, when the lights turn off in Babylon, okay, then the real gonna come out. And like the brother said, you had one of the girls said she was out drinking, and you'll never know that real story. You know she gave us the PG-13 version of that story, man. Okay, out drinking, that hookup culture. You see, and then the women that are raped. Now a lot of these women put themselves in these certain circumstances, man. Okay, and then you have another thing where you'll have a lot of times the it be the mother, the uncles, and the uncles will, most of the time would be the brothers of the mothers, that fondle, a lot of these young, young girls, okay, 13, 14, a lot of them been tampered with their older cousins and uncles, and it'd be mostly on their mother's side, man. Okay, because there's the father is the man is the shield. But when we removed that shield, it left a lot of these women vulnerable because they said what? The most vulnerable are those under 18. Okay, and they in these situations where they unsupervised. Okay. See, this is the ripple effect of I don't need a man. Okay, as we seen, they was boasting. I don't want a man to get in my way. Okay, it's too much. I already got the child. I ain't got time to deal with the man. Okay, and then you had another one was basically one of them street niggas, man. Talking about she chose the wrong one. That's why the woman is not equipped to make that decision. She's too nearsighted. Okay, and you can feel how you want and think, hey, it is what it is. Well, look at the stats. Okay, the woman too goddamn nearsighted. This nigga probably bow leg, or it'll probably Dante. It'll probably Dante who was giving her the 1-2 combos, man. You see, everybody love Dante. So yeah, I think that that's the point. I just wanted to bring those two videos out, man, just to show the aftermath, man, and show you how that way was passed down through women. Okay, and now look at what it's become. Look at the community and the culture that has created, man. Okay, so I think that's it, man. I think that's unless the spirit wants something else to come out, but I think we can close, the chapter on feminism because we see what it is, man. We know what it is now, man. So that was the point. Lord will you brothers, you few sisters were edified. Till next time, say shalom, Kwam Yashala, Baba Baba, DTA soon, shalom.